Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tier 1 Perceptions. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Hold on. Mommy's talking. Give me 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes, okay? I'm making the food. So, you know something, guys? Let me just tell you something. All right, let me explain something to you. Sometimes, more often than not, your blessing is wrapped up in a package of cutting people off and getting them out your life. That's right, I said it. Sometimes your blessing is wrapped in the package of getting rid of people, okay? Removing them out of your life, okay? A lot of times, your blessings can't pour in, your abundance can't pour in, your creative juices can't start flowing. You know what I'm saying? Your bank account won't start growing until you get rid of people. All right? Just because somebody is connected to you by blood does not mean that you owe them your time. It does not mean that you owe them your peace of mind. It does not mean that you owe them unconditional access to you, especially when they are being toxic. I'm missing the airing, y'all. We think, and we've been brainwashed to believe, yeah, but family is family. Yeah, you're exactly right. Family is family. They're people just like everybody else around me are people. Okay? And with people, you have good people, you have bad people, you have toxic people, you have people who are a little less toxic. Okay? You have understanding people, you have judgmental people, you have different types of people. Okay? And your family members and your significant other are different types of people with different characteristics, different qualities, morals, values, ethics standards, things like that. And so just because they're family doesn't mean that you shouldn't treat them like people. You treat them like everybody else who crosses your boundaries. You treat them like everybody else who disrespect you. You treat them like everybody else who betray you. You treat them like everybody else who slanders you. You treat them like everybody else who gaslights you to death. Okay? You treat them like people. You don't treat them like kings and queens, especially when they're not treating you like a king or a queen. It doesn't work that way. You don't owe anybody anything because you're connected by blood. Yeah, but that's your grandma, though. And grandma is a word. Grandma is a title. For hell, all we know, this Western civilization, they got us so brainwashed. Grandma probably don't even mean grandma. Grandma probably mean, excuse my language, grandma probably mean potato, for all we really know. Okay? Don't get so wrapped up in titles, okay? Don't get so wrapped up in what it's supposed to be. You have to listen to how you feel. Listen to your heart and let your higher self talk to you. Let your higher self guide you, all right, through the murky waters, because it's going to, without a doubt. But it's only if you listen, okay? And what's going to happen is, and what usually happens is, we have different things that start falling apart in our lives. Like, oh my goodness, when it rained, it poured. Damn, my lights got cut off. My car got repoed. I lost my job. These things are circumstantial, okay? These are the peaks and valleys of life. But a lot of times you have those peaks and valleys because you are filled with so much toxicity that's not even yours. It's toxicity that belongs to your mother. It's toxicity that belongs to your sister. It's toxicity that belongs to your grandmother. It's toxicity that belongs to your cousin. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to cut people off at the knees if you have to. If that is what's going to bring you, if you notice, When you don't go over your grandmother's house every Sunday for dinner. When you don't go, and for some reason that whole week that you didn't go, you feel refreshed, you feel replenished, you feel abundant, you feel creative, you feel good, you feel productive. That's what you listen to and that's what you follow. Okay, the only thing I did different this week is I didn't go to Auntie Shirley's house last week. I didn't even go to Sunday dinner. I stayed home. And for some reason, I'm feeling much better. Stay the hell away from Aunt Shirley's house, okay? That's the thing. That's the whole thing. So a lot of times our blessing is being blocked because we have these different energies around us that's affecting our inner climate. Everybody has an inner climate, all right? An outside environment and an inside environment. An outside climate and an inside climate, okay? The temperature outside is not the same as the temperature in your house. It better not be. If it's 80 degrees outside, do you really want it to be 80 degrees inside your house? I don't think so. If it's 30 degrees outside, do you want it to be 30 degrees inside your house? I didn't think so. It's not supposed to be. Okay? Temperature regulation. Regulate your temperature to what makes you comfortable. Don't regulate your temperature to what makes everybody else comfortable, because you know what's going to happen. You're going to freeze. You're going to overheat, and they're going to be sitting comfortable, sitting up, feet kicked up, and you're suffering. Don't suffer for anybody. Don't sacrifice you and who you are and who you can be, all right, and who you're growing to be for somebody else, because somebody said that you're supposed to, because society says, oh, this is your family member and they hold this title because they're supposed to have X amount of stars and stripes because they're the matriarch. Let me tell you something. Chronologic age. A chronologic age does not mean automatic maturity. It does not mean automatic divinity. It does not mean automatic goodness. I mean, it doesn't give them an automatic stamp of approval because they're older. Let me tell you something. A lot of souls that comes through the portal, all right, and comes to the 3D. These souls are coming in, some older, some younger. Have you ever met a young person and said, geez, you are really mature. You seem like you more like 20. You know, mentally, your mentality, your emotional climate, you seem a little bit older, because that is an older soul, right? And so even though they may be young chronologically, they're light years ahead of you, and you're 10, 15 years older than them, okay? I know a person right now that's 71 years old, okay? It'll be 72 soon, and they have the emotional climate, the emotional maturity of a 20-year-old or 18-year-old. And I'm not being funny, I'm being serious, okay? Very immature. And so don't get caught up in all of this vernacular of what should be, you know, because it looks like that. It looks like this, so it must be that, because they said it, because she said it, because he said it. Go by how you feel. When you're around that person, if they make you feel a type of way, you listen to how they make you feel, and then you do something about it. Don't do what you think you should do because everybody else is doing it. If everybody else want to deal with their toxic family members, if everybody else want to keep being around people who talk about them, who tell their business, smile up in their face, stab them in the back, slander their name, throw dirt on them, okay, steal from them, lie to them, you know, all of those different things. If other people are comfortable living their life like that, then you let them do that. But you don't have to do it. And stop doing it, because you are always going to be in the negative. You are always going to be in the deficit. And that's one thing I can promise to you. And I'm talking from experience. I'm not talking from, this is something that I found, a TikTok I found on YouTube, and now I'm regurgitating it. No, I've been through it. I lived it. I've experienced it time and time and time again. All right, especially with family. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, my tier ones. I was in tears the other day. I completely broke down. I was in tears. I'm talking about boo-hooing because the people who were around me, that society called family, those were the people who hurt me the most, who betrayed me the most. And I had to let them go. I had to let them go in a sense of there's no animosity, there's no hate. Okay? But there are lessons learned. All right? There's a sense of knowing, okay, this is how they are. This is what they're capable of. This is what they've showed me. So I have to act on what you show me, not what you tell me, or not what I'm supposed to believe because of the title you have or whatever. You know, and so I had to let go. I had to emotionally let go. I had to grieve. I'm grieving the death of people and the death of relationships of people who are not physically dead. And that's the worst grief, some of the worst grief you would ever want to go through. And I looked around and I said, geez, it's really just me, you know? It's really just me by myself, you know? It's really just me by myself. And when I look around, I said, you know what? Unfortunately, right now, in this climate, you are all you have. And you're going to have to be okay with that. Because even though I'm going through a grieving process, don't get me wrong now. Don't get me wrong now, tier ones. This is not easy. There's nothing easy about this. This is not easy. This ain't easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay? This is hard slaving in the backyard, okay? Or whatever analogy, you know. I mean, when I think about it, it hurts. I'm grieving the loss of people who I was once depending on for validation, depending on to make me feel whole, depending on to make me feel complete. And that just wasn't the move. And I was blocking a lot of my own blessings and a lot of my own growth. Okay? Because I was living in the shadow of these people. Right? And wanting and loving them and respecting them for their potential, loving them and respecting them and intermingling with them because of who I wanted them to be, not because of who they were. And I kept trying to reconfigure all the numbers and all the data and all the evidence. I kept trying to reconfigure it like a Rubik's Cube, kept trying to reconfigure it to make it match, to make it make sense, to justify it. And it got to a point where I couldn't justify it anymore. And I was put between a rock and a hard place, and I had to let go. It's okay to let go. Now that I've let go, yes, of course, I'm going through a grieving process. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's traumatizing to a degree. But the grieving and the traumatic feelings that come along with this is a part of the purge. Okay, there's a purging that you must go through in order to elevate, in order to have this spiritual awakening. You have to purge people, places, and things. Okay, and I'm purging. This is my season of purging and accepting the purge. Okay, because if you purge but you don't accept it, you're going to end up spinning the block. Ain't that what the kids saying now? Spinning the block. You know, you're going to end up spinning the block and going back. You don't want to step backwards. You want to spring forward. Shout out to Queen Amun-Ra Tarot. She uses the statement spring forward a lot. I love her, by the way. But yeah, you know, you don't want to end up going backwards. So when you find yourself in a season of purging, don't fight it. Don't fight it, because what's going to end up happening is, if you fight it, you're going to get put in a position, in a circumstance, in a happenstance where you're not going to have a choice. And when it gets to that point, the burden is going to be so heavy, it's going to cloud your judgment. It's going to have everything all messed up. So when you get those feelings, those weird feelings around people, when you like, man, what the hell, bro? I can't take this no more. It's time. It's time. Don't fight it. Don't fight your growth. Don't fight your progression. Okay? You can do this. Do it with me. We're doing it together. I'm going through it right now. All right? And now I'm in the process of accepting that this is what it is. This is the hand that I've been dealt. And I'm playing them. I'm playing my cards. I'm playing my cards as they are dealt. Okay? All right? This is the season for reason to believe in. Okay? I'm making up stuff. I made that up, y'all. But on a serious note, this is the season where it's time to step into your higher self, where it's time for you. It's your turn. It's your turn now. Everybody at the table has had a turn. Okay? And a lot of them have had a turn off of your back. In whichever way that may be. Emotionally, financially, okay, spiritually. A lot of people out here are spiritual vampires, and they sucking off of you day by day by day, and you're withering. You're withering. I was at a point at one time, once upon a time before this, I was withering. And I said, you know what, I can't do it no more, because I had got pushed to my limit. I didn't accept the purge, and then I was forced to. And here I am today, right? And so I'm embracing my journey. I'm healing. And I'm excited to see what's next. I'm excited to see what's new. I'm excited to see the butterfly that I have transformed into, that I've morphed into, okay? I've gone through that metamorphosis. I've gone through the metamorphosis. There's more than one metamorphosis in life. You have stages, you know? This is one of my metamorphoses. This is one of my transitioning phases. And so I'm accepting this, and I'm so excited to see what comes of it at the end. It's always a light at the end of this tunnel. This journey right here of purging to become the new you, your wings are starting to spread. All right, your wings are starting to spread. Let them out. Let your wings spread. Shed that old skin. All snakes, reptiles, they shed a skin. They shed their old skin, so when they grow, you're shedding a skin. I'm shedding a skin. Right? And this even goes for careers, workplaces. If you have outgrown that career and you want to move forward, start taking little baby steps. If you've outgrown that relationship, start taking little baby steps. If you've outgrown that friendship, start taking little baby steps. It's okay. It's all right. You just got to step out there. Step out there and make it happen. Well, I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. It's been 19 minutes. This is one of my longer videos, but I had a lot on my chest that I wanted to get out. I'm probably going to do a reading later after I feed the kids and get them off the bed. I'm probably going to do a reading. As I always say, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I've enjoyed you guys. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I'll see you soon.